So I really want to. I'm gonna really enjoy this one. This video is gonna be about my dog, my service animal, Taro. This is in honor for her to her. She's gonna turn 4 soon, so I'll do another video about her. But in a nutshell, Taro. How do I even begin? Um, we got her as a puppy. She is a pit bull. I've never been told anything else. I mean, it seems like if you just cut out a silhouette of a, American Staffordshire Terrier, or even more so, an American Pit Bull Terrier, um, she would fit right into that silhouette. When it comes to the personality, she pretty much meets all of those, traits to a T, except for dog aggression, which I am blessed. She actually is not dog aggressive at all. Unless that dog is charging at us, then, I start to see her light up, but any dog probably would try to defend themselves or defend me. So, my service animal is about 4 years old now, almost. She was actually trained in search and rescue for the first few years of her life. I struggled so hard with search and rescue. I really wanted her to be a search dog. I just had every inclination and every hope that she would be a search dog. But I think she was telling me something else throughout this whole time, that she noticed that I was weird. She noticed that I had some weird chemistry going on in my body that I wasn't even aware of. And so when I had my, recurring panic attacks, I've always had panic attacks, but they were just getting unmanageable earlier this year. And, you know, somebody came up with this suggestion that I retrain her as a service dog. And I'm like, oh man, I don't want to make it seem like it's a cop out because she didn't make it in search and rescue. So I retrained her, and oh my god, she's really good at this shit. I was really impressed. I could not believe how quickly she took to her tasks, how excited she gets when I go to the door every morning because she knows we're gonna go to work. I was just so floored by how much happier she is being my service dog. But I think deep inside I didn't want her as a service dog, mainly because to have her as a service dog meant that I had a disability. So we're both stubborn as hell. That's one great thing, but also a bad thing about both of us. Taro is such a great worker because she's got that pit bull pigheadedness. Like, if she knows she's right, she's gonna make sure you know that she's right. And it's been very helpful, especially even in her work at search and rescue back then. She was so confident. She was never a very shy dog. Nowadays, she's a little bit more reserved, but I'm just so blessed to have her. I do have a few videos of her on my Instagram. There's one video that I took just yesterday because I was going to have a panic attack. I'm actually in the right timing. I am in my second luteal phase. I did have some arguments with people, and the students were getting on my nerves. I was really irritable, and I knew that my chemistry was going into this, the cyclical symptoms of PMDD. And my dog alerted to me. She typically puts her chin on my knee and just stares at me. And she does it for minutes, sometimes hours, if she has to tell me, hey, you need to take your medication. And I took lorazepam. I take it once in a while. Unfortunately, it's addictive, and it's not good for you if you take it in a lot. So it's not something you have to take daily. And you also build a resistance to it. So I do try very hard to not get addicted or to use the substance too much, but it really does help, especially with my dog. It's just such a godsend. And yeah, at first it's really fun to bring a dog out and everyone's asking questions, but it starts to wear down real fast. I think the second day that I took her out to work, I was so tired of people being so curious about what I had because I don't have a physical disability. Um, and it doesn't seem really normal for somebody, I guess, with PTSD. Another thing I get is that people ask me, seeing Taro, they're like, "Oh, are you a veteran?" And I sometimes feel guilty. This is something that a lot of childhood survivors deal with. They wonder if they're even worth saying, "Hey, I have PTSD," because you've got a lot of these veterans out there, these war heroes who suffered and who went through such atrocious things, and you don't feel like you deserve to be in the same, standing. You almost feel like you don't deserve to suffer. No, no, I mean deserve to get any sympathy. I think that's what I meant. Um, so this dog has been such a life changer. I'll have so many videos about her because I love her so much, and she's not just a pet to me. She's my partner. I have a hard time, like I do have a hard time getting out of the house and going to work without her. I am very dependent on her at this time because I'm going through therapy. I'm taking medication. I'm trying to get my disorders under control. But having her and knowing that she's got my back, it's such a strong bond that you have with your service animal that you cannot replace. I mean, I love my husband. I think the world of him, but he cannot provide the same services. He can't look at me in the eyes and say, "You're going to have a panic attack in 1 hour at least. Get yourself ready." She is so amazing to me, and I really do believe in the higher powers, and I do believe that God has made such a wonderful creature, and I can't fathom how do we deserve such a wonderful companion. And with her, because she's a dog, it's a lot easier for me to trust her. It's a lot easier for me to bond with animals because humans were the first to hurt me, and humans will always hurt me in some way. And that's part of my PTSD talking there. But it's harder for me to trust people because of all of my traumas. I know, some people don't deserve that, but I've struggled with it. And having a service dog and training her out. I'll have more information about that later, but yeah, it's just incredibly blessed. It's